Green Bay Packers, best number you can find on them to win the NFC North, 4-1 out there. We, of course, know the big thing is Jordan Love now takes over at quarterback. So is Jordan Love any good or not? We don't really know, and that's going to be what we're sitting here basically trying to evaluate in the first few games of the year. He will have a chance to kind of show whether he's any good or not. He does get the Bears and the Falcons to start the season. So if you're looking for kind of soft landing spots, at least teams with questionable defenses, you get that in the Bears and the Falcons. So Jordan Love has a chance to prove himself. I still look at him almost like a rookie. I know I shouldn't, but I kind of still look at him as almost like a rookie. How much do you value that, even though the playing time isn't there, that he's actually been in the NFL, in the system, in the rooms, and under Aaron Rodgers?
I value it quite a bit. If you look at the success rate of quarterbacks who were able to sit, we saw this like Peyton Manning. So back in the 90s and the 80s, you saw quarterbacks generally got to sit for a year or two before jumping right in. Since then, we've seen people play first year right out of the gate. I think the time behind Aaron Rodgers is very helpful for Jordan Love. And every time we've seen a little bit more of Jordan Love, he's been a little bit better. And I felt like he actually looked like a legitimate NFL quarterback toward the later half of last season when we did get to see him play. So to me, I think Jordan Love is going to be as good as Aaron Rodgers was last year. Look, I don't think he's as talented as Aaron Rodgers, but Aaron Rodgers didn't want to be there last year. And you could tell with his throws, he was overthrowing footballs. He wasn't as focused as he generally is. I think he'll be good for the Jets. I think it's a mental thing with Aaron Rodgers, but he wasn't there. He was not locked in or checked in with this Packers team last year. I think it's going to be a plus to get him out of that locker room. I think it's going to be a positive for his teammates because they're sick of dealing with that. And I think it's going to be a positive for Jordan Love, who's going to step up and I think play good football here. I bet the Packers at plus 550 to win this division. I would still take a shot at them at plus 400. I think this is the best roster in this division. The question mark really is at quarterback. And I have less questions about Jordan Love than I do some of the other quarterbacks in this division.
My biggest question, and listen, it could be answered because we've seen, as we were talking about with some of these offensive linemen that take pretty big steps in year two, some of these receivers end up taking a lot of steps in year two as well. And this is one of those things where, yes, we have seen rookie wide receivers shine. We've seen them excel. But a lot of times, look, it's different. They're running different route trees. The thing is they're fast, they're bigger, faster, stronger than most of the corners that are covering them, and that just wasn't the case in the NFL for the first year. They've got to get more technical with their routes. They really need to understand where they excel. So we have seen receivers take steps in year two, even if they didn't necessarily go crazy as rookies. And that's basically what I think you're banking on here if you like this Packers squad as well, because while there's no real track record at all for these receivers, you certainly know at least the upside. You certainly know at least the talent exists because you saw it in flashes with Watson, with Dobbs. So you do know that it's there. It just wasn't necessarily consistent. And certainly as rookies, they made their fair share of rookie mistakes. But I think you're kind of buying into the fact that another year in the league, another full offseason heading in, that they're going to take a pretty big leap forward.
I am. I also think it's hard to play with Aaron Rodgers when you're a rookie wide receiver. I mean, the looks he gives you, it's hard to keep confidence and understand that you need to do the right thing every single time. I think it's easier to play looser, and I think you're going to see a much looser offense from the Packers this year just because of Aaron Rodgers exiting that side. It's interesting that I'm saying there's addition by subtraction when you lose a two-time MVP, but when the locker room is that difficult to be in and the looks that you get from your quote-unquote leader are coming at you when you're a wide receiver, to me, it's a positive here that they're able to get rid of Aaron Rodgers. You're able to see these wide receivers really bloom and blossom with someone that they've enjoyed catching patches from in Jordan Love. So I'm hoping we get a step forward there. The other key to me here, this is your best defense in this division, and it's not close. I mean, this Packers defense, they had some hiccups last year, but this is a top 10 NFL defense if everything goes right for them. Every other defense in this division is 25th or worst. I mean, there are some bad defenses here, and this Packers defense is the only good one in this division. I think that helped propels them to a division title this year.
Yeah, and the one thing here, look, an offensive line is very underrated, and this offensive line, pretty consensus top 10 unit as we head into the season, could maybe be even better than that because you're going to get Bakhtiari, in theory, for the entire season. Of course, injuries do happen, but he had an appendectomy and all those different things that were going on with him last year, so he wasn't out there for very many snaps. I can say that when he was out there, he didn't allow a sack, and he only allowed a handful of pressures as well, so he's, even though he was playing not at full capacity, was still one of the better offensive linemen that's out there. So having him at left tackle for Jordan Love, I think, is pretty key as well, because this is a an offensive line that, again, if Jordan Love is going to progress and all that, like, I think he can probably do that so long as he has the time to find these guys.
The offensive line should be good. This is another one where you're seeing them ranked generally between 5th and 10th in the NFL. If that's the offensive line performance you get, you'd think that would help Jordan Love quite a bit. And oh, by the way, we still have Aaron Jones in the backfield too, with A.J. Dillon. There's a pretty good 1-2 combination at running back as well.
Go to VSiN.com/subscribe to become a VSiN Pro subscriber today.